Hello, I'm Wilson.
And I'm Sophie.
And welcome to episode 8 of We Knit Daily.
I'd firstly like to apologise for it being so long between episodes. We wanted to try and keep these kind of a week between episodes, but it's been 3 weeks now.
It's been far too long.
Far too long. We've missed speaking to you. We've missed just kind of sitting down and knitting. In that 3 weeks, we haven't had a huge amount of knitting time, so I haven't done as much as I thought I would do. But we've just been so busy. We filmed our last episode in France, so since then we spent a bit more time in France. We've then driven back from France and gone on a tour of the UK to see all of the family members that we haven't seen in 3 months. And
also to swap out all of our stuff from the van, because we're now no longer living in the van. That was our last ever trip in the van, potentially.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think we're very well suited to van life anymore, and now that we're doing a lot more house sitting, the house sitting just feels like such a luxury, to have a toilet and a shower and you're sleeping in the same kind of place every night, and it's a lot less to think about and feels much more relaxed, and I think that's what we're both seeking at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're ready for the next chapter, I guess. So it was a bit sad, wasn't it, coming home? It was a bit bittersweet, and it was our last time over on the Channel Tunnel in the van.
Yeah, and we still got the van, so we could use it if we wanted to, but it's very set up for house sitting now, so it's completely full of stuff, anything we might possibly need in house sits, and there's nowhere left for us to sleep.
Yeah. So you're joining us this evening for us in East Midlands in the UK in the Peak District. That's where we're staying at the moment, and it's lovely around here. It's English countryside, there's some mountains and rivers nearby which are really nice. And we're here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've only been to the Peak District kind of once or twice before, but it's just such a nice area, so we're excited to explore. We've only been here for a day, so we haven't done much exploring yet, and we're in a heat wave again in the UK at the moment.
It's very warm today.
Very hot, yeah, and we're both still very hot now, so I'm not sure how much knitting I'm going to be able to get done, but we'll try.
It is 30 degrees at the moment, which might not sound too hot to some of you guys, but for us in England, it feels ridiculously warm.
It's just not suited for it. There's no aircon, there's no way to escape the heat. We don't even have a fan, so no way of cooling down. So that's something that we need to get hold of.
So it's nice to be sat in the garden for the evening filming this podcast. We've got plenty to speak about as it's been so long.
So, shall I start with the finished object? Because I've only got one finished object.
Yeah.
So this first one is a bit of a cheat of a finished object, really, because I didn't kind of make this intentionally, but it's kind of just come about.
I love this one.
Yeah, this is quite cool. So a few episodes ago, I was talking about doing a gauge swatch for my Powdermill cardigan, which we'll see a bit later. And I was a bit reluctant to just knit a huge piece of fabric for a gauge swatch that was then kind of useless. It's not like I have a board that I can display it on. And it just feels like a bit of a waste of spending so much time knitting something. So I made that gauge swatch into a mini hot water bottle cover, and I was really, really happy with the outcome of that, and I'm getting a lot of use out of it. And it made me think that I had this huge gauge swatch for the 1988 cardigan, which is the kind of colourwork section that you're seeing here on both sides of this. And again, that was a big, huge piece of fabric that I spent so long knitting and was useless. So I was trying to kind of brainstorm ideas of what to turn it into, and this is the outcome. So how I got from the kind of circular gauge swatch to this end result, which is like a little bag that I'm keeping my notions in, so it's got kind of needles and buttons and anything that I need for this project that I'm working on. So yeah, how I got here, I'd knitted this gauge swatch in the round, so it had steek seams in it, and I cut that steek seam and picked up stitches from both sides and added these panels. So one of them says knit and one of them says purl.
That's very original.
Very original. And I just kind of drafted these on Stitch Fiddle with the amount of stitches that I picked up from the edge. And I think
what's that? What's Stitch Fiddle?
It's a website online where you can create a chart and kind of draw your colourwork charts onto it.
Oh, so kind of make your own patterns.
Yeah, and I think
handy.
you can do cables on it as well, but I've never tried that. I've just done the colourwork charts.
Well, it's come out well.
Yeah, it has come out well. So I think I picked up one in every stitch along the side, or one stitch in every row, sorry. but I think I used a smaller needle, so maybe a 2.5 rather than 3, which is what I did the rest of the colour work on, so that it kind of evened out the tension. And I knit the colour work back and forth, so yeah, I added on the knit panel, I added on the purl panel, and then I Kitchener stitched them both together. So that gave me a kind of wider, again circular piece, but without the kind of ugly steek seam in there. And I made sure that it was exactly the width of the zipper that I had. So that all worked out well. I then had to close the bottom, and the easiest way that I found to do that was to pick up stitches all the way round and kind of divide that in half and do a 3 needle bind off along, well, with those stitches, I suppose, so you get this kind of ridge edge, and I feel like it just kept everything looking really flat, so I liked that. And then I sewed the zip in, and I sewed in a lining that I hand sewed, just a bit of kind of old bed sheet that I cut up, and it looks really good.
Looks very cool.
The only thing I'd maybe change is putting some zipper tabs on it so that I have somewhere to hold when I move in the zipper, but other than that, I like the look of it.
And where did you buy the zip? We bought that in France somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah, so that's a funny story. So I bought the zip in Lyon, in a yarn shop in Lyon that I can't remember the name, but we'll put it on the screen. And we did a lot of yarn shopping in Lyon. We went to lots of different yarn shops, and it was such a beautiful city, like absolutely beautiful. And we were really excited to show you in a SophKnitsDaily video, but that video hasn't come about.
No, we filmed a whole video of our time in Lyon, and I deleted all the footage.
You're admitting it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The footage got deleted somehow.
That's what I've been hearing for a few weeks.
But yeah, we lost the whole video, so it's never going to see the light of day. But we had a great time.
We did have a great time.
And that zipper is proof of that.
Yeah, and so it's nice to have the zipper as a memory of the video that never came about, but the good time that we had. I was a bit frustrated when I found out that the footage was deleted or it disappeared.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, because I love watching those videos as a kind of memory of our travels and the places that we've been. And you got some incredible footage in Lyon. It was just like such a picturesque, beautiful place to film, and I was so excited to look at it all back. But didn't get the chance to.
Yeah, and the weather was amazing when we were there.
Yeah.
But we'll never see it, so let's move on.
We'll have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my little 1988 kind of gauge swatch pouch. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Love it. Didn't I make you get the white colour because I said it would match that?
What, the white and green zip?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I thought I did. Maybe not.
But you can take some credit if you want. But I don't remember that.
I think I said get the white and green one because it'll match. Because you had the idea of what you wanted to do with it when you bought it.
I did.
Anyway.
But it does match. It matches really well.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it's a little bit overkill for a Notions pouch. It's like the most amazing colour work pattern.
Yeah.
It's maybe a little bit overkill, but...
It's also a bit big. It's like, it doesn't really fit into a project bag. It's a bit like... thick and bulky. But
it's nice to have a fancy, memorable Notions pouch, I guess.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it didn't take you long. How long did it take you?
A couple of hours, yeah. It didn't take me long, and it felt quite enjoyable to figure out kind of the dimensions and how I was going to make the gauge swatch work. So yeah, I quite enjoyed the process of it.
And that's your first time ever doing a word in knitwear, isn't it?
I think so.
Have you ever written anything before?
I don't think so, no. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What word would you have put on this?
Well, I've always had the idea that I want a SKD like logo on a t-shirt or something.
You need a WKD.
Or a WKD, We Knit Daily, yeah.
Yeah, or a We Knit Daily.
So, yeah, but I'm not sure if Sophie will let me, but if you let me...
I think that'll be funny because it will look like uniform.
Oh, yeah. Okay, stay tuned for some WKD
uniform
cast on.
Yeah.
But that's a good first finished object.
Yeah, I love that. Well, only finished object.
Is it?
I know. I thought I'd have got a lot more knitting done considering it's been so long, but...
Yeah, I was just saying to Sophie then, I have barely been knitting for like 2 weeks now, and I'm loving it. I'm not listening to a word Sophie's saying during this episode because I'm loving knitting again. I forgot how fun and relaxing it is.
So what's been putting you off? Why haven't you been knitting?
What's been putting me off? Well, life has got pretty crazy recently, hasn't it?
It's been so busy.
We've just been travelling. Every night we've been on the move. I don't think we've been anywhere for more than one night. and sometimes we've been driving for 4 or 5 hours a day. It's just been crazy, so we've not had much time. And also, this whip is what is it? It's interesting. I've had my ups and downs with this whip, haven't I?
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
I think I was saying in the last episode I wasn't loving it, but I wanted to power through, and I'm enjoying it now, but I've kind of reached the part where I have to cast on for the ribbon. Cast on? That's the wrong word. Just do the ribbon. Do the ribbon. So I'm doing the ribbon now. I'm doing 2x2 ribbon all the way around, which is 2 knits and 2 purls, and I'm really enjoying it. But actually getting to that stage and finishing the body has been a laborious task, because I haven't been able to. I don't like knitting back and forth, basically. I'd much rather be knitting in the round. And someone actually in the comments of the last video, or a few people, recommended that if I don't like knitting back and forth, then I could maybe in future knit a cardigan in the round and steek it like you did for your 1988.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good.
A really good option for me, because I'm not a fan of purling, and it does stop me from picking it up. So I think if I was just knitting in the round, I'd get it done a lot quicker, I think.
I think any time you've come to a point on this project where you've had to do any sort of thinking, that has put you off for about a week.
Yeah, that is really true. It only takes a little bit of thinking, or like having to learn something for the next step, that just means if I don't have much time in the day anyway, I just won't pick it up,
Yeah.
But that changes today. Right here, right now. I'm going to get a whole row done during this episode, and then I'm just going to keep going, because I know I can just pick it up now. And we had to get new needles for me as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we've had to buy some short circulars.
Well, yeah, but you don't need that for this step. But for the sleeves,
for the sleeves, I do. But we had to get some new needles as well. So it's been a whole thing. But my momentum is back, and I'm going.
I think with your last project, which was your jumper, that was such a process knit for you. Like, you really enjoyed the process of knitting and learning and seeing a jumper come together. Yeah. But this is very much you want the final result, but you're not quite enjoying the process as much.
Yeah, and the yarn's tricky to work with as well.
Yeah.
It's very ropey, it's pretty stiff, and it doesn't slide on the needles very well. But that will all change after a block, I'm hoping.
So what is this project? We've kind of started talking about it and not said what it is.
Yeah, so my current whip is the Badana cardigan by Rosa Pomar.
Oh, I love that angle.
That is great, isn't it? What am I
you're looking
at?
Upside down at the moment.
Okay, let me just...
And inside out. Oh, close.
Oh, still inside out?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yay.
Whoa.
There we go. It's looking so much bigger.
It's pretty big at the moment.
Yeah, you have done a lot.
I think I add extra 15 rows onto the body.
You did, but yeah, your gauge is just so off and confusing. So we're just going by measurements now. We're not even thinking about your gauge.
Yeah, so I added an extra 15 rows to the body, which is also why it's taken a little bit longer. And yeah, I've been on this whip for a while now. It's probably getting boring, so apologies if you're sick of hearing about it, but I'm still going. And I don't really have much else to say. I think I won't spend too long speaking about this, because it'll be the same stuff that I've already spoken about. But I have some other exciting things to speak about in the episode.
I think it might be fun if you try and explain one of my whips.
Okay.
So that you have something to speak about.
Otherwise, I'm just here for vibes.
Yeah. Which one do you want to try and explain?
What have you got?
Point to it.
I don't know what you've got. Where are they?
This one, a colour work and...
A colour work?
Yeah, Powdermill and a square neck. Which one do you want to claim as your own?
I think the square neck.
Okay.
Yeah?
We'll do this one first then. That's quite good actually, because I don't want to touch the square neck camisole at the moment. That sounds so dramatic, but I'll explain why. So this here is my Lucy cardigan by the Knit Purl Girl, and I'm actually almost finished. I was really hoping to have this finished for this episode.
It's so soft, this, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not quite there yet. I've done absolutely everything other than the cuff of one sleeve, so I'm desperate to finish this tonight so I can block it in the sun tomorrow and kind of be done with it, I suppose. I actually have quite a lot to say about this cardigan, so I've written some notes, but I suppose the first thing is explaining why I don't want to touch my other projects. I've said in a few videos that working on this, I get so much staining of the colour of the yarn on my hands, and today is especially bad.
Yeah.
It's been pretty hot when I've been knitting on it, but I have also been knitting on it quite a lot today, and my hands are like bright red, and I'm quite cautious that if I touch anything that's not red, like a bright white t-shirt, I'm going to stain it. So I've looked at all of your comments on the previous videos, and I'll be sticking with kind of colour captures and using some sort of vinegar, white vinegar I think it is, when I block this, to try and avoid so much bleeding and set the dye in the yarn a bit better, because it's just going to bleed a lot, isn't it? And I'm worried that kind of one block isn't going to get all of the extra dye out, and then if I was to wear this with a white t-shirt or something underneath, then the white t-shirt would no longer be white anymore. So yeah, that's my kind of first concern about it, but I think we can rectify that. The yarn is Fonty Super Tweed, which we picked up from the factory, the Fonty factory, at a discounted price. So again, I said in another video, I can't say for sure if this is a problem with the yarn itself or just this batch, and that's why they were sending it off cheap. So I don't know if you get the Super Tweed Fonty yarn yourself, you'll have such a kind of dye problem. Yeah, it's luck of the draw maybe. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to advise on that, but that's the problem that I'm having with my yarn. But other than that, I really like the yarn. As you said earlier, it's really soft, isn't it? It's 95% superwash wool and 5% mohair.
So much softer than mine.
It is so much softer than yours. Yeah, yours is like a carpet. So yeah, I'm really liking the feel of it, and I really like the way that it looks on this cardigan, especially with this Andalusian stitch. The other concern that I have with this is kind of to do with that stitch and the fact that it's a superwash wool. So if I'm to try this on now and show you what it looks like, you'd probably think that's made for a child. It's very small and it feels like it fits very tightly. I've finished working the sleeves quite short. I'm expecting this to grow a lot when I block it. It says in the pattern that the Andalusian stitch does stretch out a lot with blocking, so I'm taking that into consideration. But also it's a superwash wool, so I'm also expecting that the yarn itself is just going to grow with blocking. So I'm kind of trusting the process. I picked this size to knit based on my gauge swatch that I had kind of washed and blocked, and I'm just going to hope for the best. I have a lot of faith in my very, very small gauge swatch, so hopefully it all works out. What were my other notes about this cardigan? I made quite a few modifications. Yeah, so in terms of size, my gauge is very off from what the pattern recommends. So I'm knitting the size G to get the measurements for the size E. But because of my kind of gauge differences, changing the size I was knitting didn't quite make sense for the sleeves, and my gauge wasn't quite working on the sleeves, so I changed the amount of sleeve decreases that I did and the rate at which I decreased them based on kind of the gauge that I was getting and what would work for my length of sleeve. And so I think I did 7 decreases, like one every 17 rows or something, and that seems to have worked quite well from when I've tried it on pre-blocking, but I'll let you know next week about post-blocking. The other changes that I made is that I continued the Andalusian stitch under the arm. So in the pattern there's quite a big stockinette section under the arm, so you get these kind of breaks in the Andalusian stitch, but I thought it would just look a bit cleaner to have that stitch pattern, the texture working all the way around. And I think I asked you for your advice, didn't I?
Yeah, I liked the modification. Yeah,
you like it going all the way around.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I think Sophie of the Knit Purl Girl did that because you have these quite wide sections of stockinette where you're doing the shaping on the cardigan, and so that's continued down to kind of maintain some consistency. So I can see how it would look nice both ways, but I just preferred the texture going all the way around. And then I also didn't do the split hem that's at that point where the stockinette section is. I don't think a split hem really suits me very much. I have one split hem jumper, which is actually another Knit Purl Girl pattern. It's the Ekin sweater, and I don't mind that, but I think I prefer it to just be kind of all connected. So I didn't do the split hem, and then I did a different bind off on everywhere really, the kind of bottom hem, the button bands. In the pattern it recommends a kind of rolled edge at that bind off edge, kind of similar to how you would have the rolled edge in like the Cloud Sweater by PetiteKnit or something, and I just didn't think that really worked for me in this pattern. I think there was a lot going on already with the texture that I just wanted a very kind of crisp and clean edge. So I just did an Italian bind off, and I really like the way that that's come out with this yarn. It just looks kind of particularly clean for some reason. What do you reckon?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I asked you for your advice there as well, didn't I? Do you prefer the roll or the Italian bind off? And
Didn't like the roll.
you didn't like it at all? Yeah.
No.
I do like the roll on some patterns, like I have the Cloud Sweater with the roll, and I'm looking to knit the Frankie sweater by PetiteKnit, and that has a roll. But I think, yeah, for this pattern I just preferred it to be a bit cleaner. I think that's it. I think that's all the changes that I've made, so hopefully I can get this finished tonight. I actually brought some buttons out with me, and I wanted your advice and your guys' advice about what buttons I should choose. So
I should have chose this whip to speak about.
Weep.
Weep.
So I've got 3 options. My ideal button for this would be a really bright kind of royal blue colour. I just really pictured blue buttons on this because it's got blue tweed flecks in it, but I haven't quite found anything when we've been shopping in that kind of bright vibrant blue. So these buttons are from a few different places. We went back to Ragtag, which is a kind of scrap arts and crafts store in Kendal in the Lake District, and I found some buttons in there. And then we went to Cumbria Wool Gathering at the weekend. Is that what it's called? Wool Gathering. Yeah. And I found these kind of really cool, they were called eco buttons that were made out of what's it called?
Coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds. I was going to say grinded coffee, but yeah, made out of coffee grounds.
Recycled used coffee grounds.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool, but I'm not sure any of them actually match the cardigan. So
Ooh.
here we go. These are our options.
Do
you like any of them?
I don't think you're going to like that, because that looks a bit homemade, crafty, kind of handmade look.
I also think it's a really different tone. So Wilson asked me to work on his cardigan earlier to change the needles on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this colour is so odd. It felt really desaturated compared to this that I've been looking at all day, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about this button. It feels very, I don't know, like this is a really warm tone maybe, and this is a really cool tone. Not sure I like that.
I'm not sure I like any of them.
I don't mind this one, but it's not the vibrant blue I think I was going for.
My favourite's the red one.
Yeah, because it just blends in.
Yeah.
But then do you
They're also both matte, whereas this one's shiny.
Right, you prefer the shiny?
I think so.
Okay, that's interesting. I think I prefer matte in a button normally.
Well, I guess it depends what's going on, because there's a lot of texture there with the Andalusian stitch and the tweed.
That was good.
I know these things. So maybe the button search continues.
I think the button search continues.
Okay.
I still think my vision would work to get a really bright blue button, but these aren't it. No. Well, I'm glad I got your advice.
Sorry. I'm always honest.
I don't mind searching for buttons.
Yeah, it's your favourite thing to do, isn't it?
I do love buttons, yeah.
But good progress on the Lucy cardigan.
Yeah, good progress.
Nice.
Should we talk about your width?
I don't think I can speak about yours. I don't think I know it well enough.
I think you've got it in you.
Okay.
I want to test you what you can remember.
So this is...
You've actually shown it the right way, I think.
Yeah, this is a dishcloth. And this is the square neck camisole. Yeah? By Garnug Slicked, otherwise known as my favourite things...
No, you've got it.
Helene Baba.
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry, Helene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it's knit out of Knitting for Olive merino, in Dusty Sand. No,
They probably have a colour called Dusty Sand though.
In Putty. So, and it's well soft. It's well soft and well stretchy as well because it's all knit in rib.
What rib is it?
2x4x4? 2x2? I don't know.
You can read that. How many are there?
3.
Yeah.
3x3 ribbon.
Yeah.
You also did some funky modification to the edge, didn't you, or something?
It wasn't modified.
I remember you saying you didn't like something to do with...
That was the decreases down the side.
Oh, okay. This is pointless.
No, it's good. You're doing well.
Are you sure?
Well.
Right, okay. And it's knit on needles.
That's good.
Where does it say the...
Oh, it's rubbed off. They're
3mm needles.
Well done.
Yeah. And you hate knitting this, don't you? Because you never pick it up. So we were doing a long car journey recently and Sophie said, I'm glad this is a 4-hour journey because I've told myself that I'm only allowed to knit on this during passenger seat journeys. So you're not enjoying it, are you? It's not your first thing that you're grabbing at the moment.
Yeah, I am. I've committed to myself that if we're ever in the car and I'm knitting on something, it has to be this, because if I don't do that, this will never get done.
No.
Yeah.
It looks fiddly and small.
Yeah, and it's just boring, like going round and round in 3x3 rib. I'm just so bored of it.
You're on
now.
Rib Island.
Yeah, and I thought when I finished the second ball of yarn I was done, and then I tried it on, and what happened?
Oh, it was really short. It was really cropped, so you've added some more length to the body. I remember.
And I just thought I was done. I thought, oh yeah, finished. It's going to be the perfect length. And I tried it on, and it looks long here, but because it stretches out so much, it then gets shorter.
So you've added more.
There's a long way to go.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I know the feeling of being demotivated. It's all right. You can confide in me. I'm not judging. Yeah.
Maybe you could help me by weaving in my ends.
No.
That was quick.
No. So yeah, anything else to say about this is actually useful?
I think you did really well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
So
still going.
that's the Square Camisole by Garnet Slicked, otherwise known as Helene something.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, cool.
So you said
I was left
Oh.
with one stitch at the end here.
Oh, were you? What did you do with it?
Which is not good. Just did it.
Well, I counted your stitches and you had the perfect amount, so I think you've made a mistake.
Well, I can always just ignore it.
Nope, there's no ignoring happening here. I will find it. Unless I counted wrong, I mean, that's a possibility.
You don't make mistakes. That's not a possibility.
That's not
So what
good.
do I do about that? Can I just fix it in this row? I don't have to go back because that's right at the start.
No, because you have to fix all of the stitches that are past it. So you need to rip back to there.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah? So you said earlier that you had a question for me.
I do. I wrote a question down. The question was, now that we are not living in a van, what is your favourite thing about not living in a van?
I love not having to make decisions all the time. There's so many decisions to be made in a van, like where you're sleeping, is it safe, where are you driving, how far can you drive, where you're getting food, what food have you got, I don't know, like what chores you need to do, how are you going to do those chores, do you have the water, do you have the gas, do you have so many decisions, and you do take a lot of those decisions off my mind.
Not anymore.
You're very good at kind of figuring out where we're sleeping.
I was on logistics, wasn't I, in the van?
Yeah. But even so, there's a lot to think about all the time.
Yeah.
And you're constantly kind of being watched. I don't know, you're in a car park and people are like, oh, who are those weird people in a van?
Yeah, there's not much privacy, especially in our van because it's so small. We have to spend a lot of time outside cooking and just moving around, whereas if you have a big motorhome or something, you can just like exist inside the van.
Yeah.
But that was never really reality for us, was it?
So I feel so relaxed in a house sit because I know where we're sleeping for the night. I know when we're finishing the house sit and where we're going next, and a lot of the kind of day-to-day chores and decisions are made so much easier. And that's the biggest change for me, the biggest thing I'm excited about. What would be your answer?
I think having a shower. I think genuinely having a shower and running water.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't shower for 3 months. That's pretty rough.
We didn't shower for 3 months. Sophie absolutely stinks. No, I'm joking. We did shower, but it was hard work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were either showering at a campsite, which isn't always the nicest, or a service station, or
which was
with
never
our
nice.
garden hose shower tent situation,
Yeah.
or sometimes with a baby wipe. Like, it was always an interesting experience. Sometimes it was freezing cold. Sometimes the shower tent was covered in ants and you were getting bitten by flies.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think I'll never take running water for granted again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everything else I kind of could deal with. I liked being outside pretty much all the time.
Well, getting up in the morning and being forced to be outside straight away and standing up and having your coffee outside. And
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed how much weather we saw.
Yeah.
We saw all of the daylight every day pretty much, and from the moment the sun rised and it woke us up until the moment we went to sleep. And I enjoyed cooking outside as well. I loved cooking with our camping utensils, and every day it felt like a barbecue. I used to say that to you, didn't I? So I loved all of that, those kind of quirks, but running water and just having clean drinking water, because that wasn't always...
You could never trust the water.
You could never fully trust the water depending on where you get it from. And also, you could never fully trust our cleanliness with the jerry cans that we were drinking out of.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it was really hot and they'd be kind of baking in the roof, and I wouldn't trust that water after a few days. So just having a water bottle and a shower is well nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but that was my question that I wrote down before.
I like that one.
Yeah. I also wrote down something else.
Yeah, I didn't come with any questions, so I hope you've got another one.
But that was relevant to something that I might... So Sophie before said I wasn't allowed to speak about something, but I think I'm going to overrule that decision. As executive producer of this podcast, I'm going to overrule that decision.
Producer? Are we co-producers?
You're the talent and I'm the producer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to overrule that decision.
I disagree with that.
What are you?
Well, I think because I can disagree with your decisions, I'm more than just talent. So I could be co-producer.
Co-producer, okay. Well, I'm talent as well because I'm knitting. So what?
I didn't say you weren't.
All right. I'm not getting defensive, am I?
Your knitting is very talented.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to overrule that decision because I don't think it's the right decision. So I basically bought some yarn from... We went to a knitting festival. We haven't even said that. We went to a knitting festival a few days ago in my hometown, which is crazy. It was like a homecoming festival. We'd just been away for 3 months, and then we went straight to the town where I grew up and went to a knitting festival, and it was huge.
It was huge. I wasn't expecting it to be so big.
It was the biggest one you've ever been to. It was bigger than Woolly Good Gathering.
Yeah.
We've been to one in Copenhagen together. It was bigger than that. And it was really cool. And we bought...
And there were animals.
There were animals. There was livestock. There was raw fleeces you could buy. There was loads of wool top. There was Angora bunnies that you could see.
It was very fibre heavy, wasn't it? Which is brilliant because I like spinning.
It was more of a market than a knitting festival stall. It felt a bit like a market, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very cool.
It was really cool. Anyway, a whole video is being made on the SophKnitsDaily channel about that, which is why I wasn't allowed to speak about it because the talent said I can't. But I did buy one thing.
Two things.
Two things, but one thing that I'd like to speak about here because it's relevant to a comment that was left on one of these WKD episodes.
Okay.
So it does make sense to speak about it. Yeah, so I've basically acquired a big cone of yarn.
Do you want to go and get it?
I'll go and get it.
Go and get it.
Be right back. So this is a cone of yarn. Here's one that I prepared earlier. It is a boucle navy blue, would you call that?
Yeah, it's a bit brighter than a navy.
100% wool boucle navy wool. And it smells dead sheepy, and we got it from the knitting festival.
Dead sheepy, that's so sad.
It smells very sheepy.
It's hopefully still alive.
Hopefully the sheep's alive. And we got it from the knitting festival. It is 1,365 grams which is more than enough for a garment for me.
And take your guesses how much it will be.
How much do you think 1,365 grams of pure boucle wool in a lovely navy colour would be? £22.
That's just insane.
It's good, that, isn't it?
So there was a lady at the knitting festival who was selling off lots of cones of yarn for like unreal cheap prices, and this is one of 3 that we bought. You had 2 and I had 1, but this one is very exciting because you just don't see boucle yarn very often.
Yeah, and it's really cheap.
Yeah.
We asked her where she got her cones from and she wouldn't tell us. She was very secretive about it, and I understand, because
very understandable.
she's obviously getting them very cheap if she's selling them on this cheap. I imagine it's second hand, but I was very happy with this purchase. Anyway, why it relates to this week's episode of WKD, you may be asking.
Yeah, I am asking that.
Yeah, and that is because we got a comment. I was talking about knitting a zipper sweater in one of our recent videos.
You want it to be like a fleece?
A fleece, yeah, kind of outer jacket fleece, and I was going to knit the PetiteKnit man zipper sweater, I think it's called. Light,
yeah,
something like that.
Some combination of those words.
But it was only a quarter zip, so I was going to have to modify it to be a full zip. And I also didn't like the raglan construction, so I was worried about that. And then someone left a genius comment saying, if you don't like raglans and you don't like that, why don't you just find a jumper pattern that you're happy with the construction of, like a drop shoulder or a contiguous shoulder or something I've knit before, and then just steek it and add a zip all the way.
I like that idea.
And that way I'm happy with the fit and I'm just basically adding a zip, and I can maybe make the neck a little bit higher so it looks a bit more like a jacket. And I think I'd be way happier with that than because there's limited zipper sweater patterns, as we found out in that video. Which video was that? It was the Fonty video on SophKnitsDaily.
Yeah.
But there was some interesting patterns, one like from the early 2000s that I found, which is very interesting, but there's not much choice out there.
We didn't realise the model of that photo
was
Eddie Redmayne.
And I didn't even know, and I put a picture of him up there. He did a collaboration with Rowan.
Yeah, and someone commented like Eddie Redmayne jump scare, and I was like, oh yeah, it does look a bit like him. They were like, oh no, it actually is him.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, very funny.
But that's the plan. I think that's a great idea. So I basically need to find a jumper pattern that I like and that I could adjust the neck to be a bit higher, and then I'm going to steek it. You're going to teach me how to steek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you can do that?
I think I can do that.
Am I teachable?
You're very teachable, but you're also very, very adventurous for a beginner.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got some
I'm
real
all ideas,
sense of adventure about you.
No hands. I can't actually make it happen. That's why you're...
Yeah. You really like the idea of boucle because of the texture, and you want it to look kind of fleece-like.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard that it's hard to knit with?
No, is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the loops...
Have you ever had a go with that?
I don't knit with macrame yarn.
Yeah, funny. It's like fishing rope.
Yeah. But the loops on the boucle, when you're knitting with them, they kind of look like the loops of your knits.
Oh no, that's going to be so confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
this
what
one
you
isn't
mean.
too bad though, because it's quite tightly boucled. I don't really know like the terminology, but yeah, I don't think it will be too bad with this yarn, but it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy.
You want to, your next pattern, you want to do a steek modification of a jumper, add a zip, using boucle yarn.
And possibly hold it with another yarn, I said, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because I might want a slightly different look.
Slightly thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
Do you know what I'd say to that? Life's too short. Life's too short to be not trying 5 new techniques on every garment that you're casting on, you know. It does help that I've got SophKnitsDaily, of course, but why not?
Yeah, it's very adventurous. I admire it.
Yeah.
I admire it because I'm only recently now kind of modifying patterns to get what I exactly want. I definitely didn't do that for the first year, maybe.
Yeah, but I've got you.
So well done.
So thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's my boucle acquisition. I just wanted to speak about that, that's all, because I thought it was relevant to a comment we got. We're doing a full video about the knitting festival on the SophKnitsDaily channel, so we don't want to speak too much about it. That's why Sophie banned me from speaking about this, but it's made it into the episode.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks.
You got it in.
Thanks.
I have another whip, which is a bit boring, I suppose, and what I'm going to cast on next. What do you want to hear about first?
I want to hear about what you're going to cast on next.
Okay, so what I would like to start next, which is why I'm so desperate to get this Lucy finished, because this is what I want to cast on, is something with this yarn. So this is the Phildar Phil Rustique, which is a cotton, viscose and linen blend. I think kind of similar to the Sandnes Garn Line and the Drops Bell. I picked up this, I think it's the colour Cinnamon, a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, and I've had it knitted into the Sabai top for, again, a few years.
I loved that top.
Yeah.
I loved that top. I'm going to put a picture of that top here, because I'm not happy.
I just didn't get the wear out of it that I wanted to. It felt a bit kind of heavy and hot on warmer days. I was never really picking up my DK weight summer tops, so I thought I need to turn it into something I'll actually wear, and I think I will wear a DK weight summer jumper. So like when it gets a bit chillier in the evenings, which I wish it was now, I could put on like a summer fibre jumper just to kind of help with that wind chill. So we went to the Phildar shop in Lyon, which again I would love to show you, but we're unable to. And I looked at this colour in the shop to try and buy some more of the yarn so that I could knit it into a jumper, and I was concerned that the colours just didn't really match, and I would struggle to then kind of tie the two dye lots together in a way that looked cohesive. So I decided to pick up a quantity in a completely different colour, and I could use the yarns for some sort of stripy jumper. So as I said, this one is from the Sabai top. There's 250 grams here, or I think there's 200 grams and then I've got another 50 gram skein somewhere. And then I picked up another 250 grams in the colour Linen. And this is a kind of peachy toned beige, and I think the colours look really, really nice together. They both have that kind of like pinky hue. But now that I've come home with the 250 gram quantities of yarn, I've actually struggled to find a pattern that will work for this. So every pattern that I look at uses more of one colour than another, and I don't have enough of one colour to make those patterns work. So the Frankie sweater is the one that I'd really, really like to do, but I think you need like 350 grams of the main colour and then 200 of the other colour, and it uses 4 stripes of one colour and then 2 stripes of the next. And I like the way that that looks on the pattern. Shall I show you so you know what I'm on about?
Yeah.
So I really like the way that the kind of 4 and 2 stripe works together. So
What does
there's
that
4
mean?
of the blue
yeah.
and then
Nice
2 of the brown.
Nice ratio.
But I'm unable to do that ratio with the yarns that I've got. So I think I'm going to have to do 2 stripes of each. So it's going to make a really different look. And I'm not sure.
It's going to be a bit more Dennis the Menace.
It's going to be a bit more Dennis the Menace, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain about it, but I really like the Frankie sweater as a kind of summer jumper because it's quite oversized. It's got the kind of rolled details. The arms are quite wide. So I think it will work quite well in these yarns. I'm just not sure it will work very well for the 2 stripe repeat. What are you thinking?
I love the colours.
Yeah.
Love the colours together. I love that orange colour on you as well.
This colour?
Yeah.
It's a bit red, isn't it?
Well,
Is
ready,
it a red?
ready orange.
Ready orange. Yeah. So I'm going to have to do it 2 stripes of each. We'll see how that goes.
See how it goes. You'll know on the gauge swatch how you feel about it.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing one.
Oh.
I know when I start knitting
Maybe
it
do one then. Maybe that's
Yeah.
a sign to do a gauge swatch.
Maybe I should. I wasn't going to do one because I already knitted the Sabai top in this yarn, so I know what my gauge is on 4.5mm needles. But yeah, maybe I should do a gauge swatch and have a look at what that looks like. But either way, I'm going to have to do some sort of ratio that uses the same amount of yarn of each colour. So it's going to have to be equal. So 2 stripes or 3 stripes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I
I know
can't
what
do
you mean.
4 and 2. So yeah, we'll see how that comes out. But I'm excited to get that casted on because I only have one other summer jumper, which is a wool and linen blend. So it'd be nice to have some other options to wear during the summer. Should we do another question before I talk about my last whip?
Yeah, ask me a question right now.
How's your tinking going?
Oh.
That was very expressive.
I did 3 expressions in one then.
Yeah.
I'm tinking right now because I made a mistake with my ribbon. I did 3 pearls in a row.
And it messed the whole thing up.
And I didn't know until I got right to the end of the big long row and I had one stitch left, and you've made me tink.
Yeah. You have to.
So I'm tinking.
And how's it going?
It's going alright. I hate going backwards. I've said in a previous episode, I don't go backwards, I only go forwards. And now look at me.
Yeah, look at you now. You also said you're a one project at a time man, and now you've got 4 jumpers quantities of yarn to get through.
And I said that I don't buy more yarn than I need. And now I've got a boucle cone.
Yeah. I have been thinking about this a lot, actually. I suppose this is something that we could discuss, is buying yarn and having a yarn stash.
Yeah.
And this is something you've kind of recently acquired, a yarn stash.
I think I've got a stash. Do you think I qualify as a stash?
You've got 4 jumpers quantities.
I've got about 4 kilogram of stash.
Yeah.
Does that qualify as a stash?
It qualifies as a stash. So some part of me really enjoys having a stash. I feel so kind of creatively energized by having a stash of yarn, and I enjoy knowing that I've got quantities that I can kind of cast on next, and there's things that I'm excited about that I don't have to kind of wait to buy yarn or wait to find yarn. I do find that really inspiring. So I enjoy having a stash. I think the problem lies in how comfortable you feel with the size of your stash. And I think that's what's kind of come into play recently. I had a very modest stash for a very long time that I felt very comfortable with, but recently we have been to so many places where there's been the most bargain, insanely well priced yarn ever, and
good quality yarn, not just buying the cheapest that we can find.
And when we find it, I think I knit a lot and I really enjoy knitting. I don't see myself giving up this hobby anytime soon, and so when I'm finding this yarn at such incredible prices, I feel like I can't not buy it, because I'll really regret having not bought it, and I don't want to then spend 10 times the amount on kind of normal retail price yarn when that yarn is there in front of me. But it's led to us having a sizable stash.
It's fair enough. You speak for yourself. I don't have a sizable stash. I've got a very moderate stash, I'd say.
But you said for a long time,
let me explain.
Okay, go on.
So I think the reason I'm happy with my stash is because I'm knitting a lot more now, because I'm getting more into it, and because I'm part of the channel as well. And I don't think I feel in any way guilty about having yarn, because I love producing the videos, and to produce the videos and be in the videos I kind of have to be knitting, otherwise I'm just Wills Daily and you're Soph Daily if you take away the knitting. So it's kind of the channel doesn't exist without the knitting either. So
yeah, that's true.
I enjoy being a part of the channel and I enjoy knitting, so I'm okay with having a moderate sized stash.
Yeah, and we love finding a bargain, and I feel so excited when we find a bargain. But recently we've been saying, why are all the bargains coming to us all at the same time? Because we went to Ragtag and we got lots of yarn there that was just insanely cheap. We went to Fonty, again, so cheap. We went to this knitting festival where typically the yarn at a yarn festival isn't very cheap.
Well, there was some stuff there that was quite expensive as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, and understandably the yarn is kind of local, and we want to support our British farmers, and it's been hand dyed or kind of locally dyed, and again, like you want
the small producers.
Yeah, you want to kind of support those local businesses, and the yarn prices kind of reflect that. But this lady who was selling these cones of yarns, she got us.
Well, and some other deals that we got. Sometimes you find a little bag that they've got in the corner that they're selling off cheap for one reason or another, and you just can't say no to the hidden gems.
Yeah.
And we did queue up on the first day that the festival opened to make sure we got the best stuff, didn't we?
We did.
So it was first thing in the morning, so we got the best picks.
Yeah, so I feel like we've had a very recent spell of finding some absolute bargains and really cheap yarn, and maybe we won't find any now for years, and we'll have time to work through the stuff that we've bought. Yeah. I'm hoping that's the case.
Maybe we won't buy anything for ages now, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I have been like kind of reflecting on my yarn stash quite a lot, and I'm feeling good about it, because we're never going to find these bargains again. And I'll certainly get through the yarn.
And you knit like a machine. You're going to get through that. The yarn's terrified of you.
And I'm now even using the knits I've already got to add to my yarn stash by undoing them and using them again.
There you go.
It's an endless cycle of yarn.
Endless.
Okay,
so have you got anything else to speak about?
I have one more whip.
Let's go through that. Oh, I like this whip.
Yeah.
I like this
See, this
whip.
is the one that you could have spoken about if you'd have chosen this one.
I don't know much about it though.
No, do you want to try?
I know that you've done a little modification Purl row there.
I did a little pearl at the edge.
Yeah.
So this is the Powdermill cardigan by Davies Designs, and I've made a bit of progress on this since you last saw it. What Wilson was saying earlier is that the modification that I made, because you knit this bottom up, is that I omitted one of the colours from the corrugated rib, and I added a little purl divide between the corrugated rib and the colour work. And so I've been working on that colour work all the way up the body recently, and I've just split, well, not really split, I've added the seams for the armholes. So I've literally done like 3 rows past where I'm going to be cutting the steeks for the armholes. So that means the body of my cardigan is done and I'm kind of onto the yoke section. And I'm really enjoying this knit. I said before that I'm really enjoying knitting from the bottom up because it feels really, really mindless at the moment. I don't even have to look at the pattern. I've kind of memorised the colour work repeats. They're very easy to memorise. So I can just pick this up and it's a very mindless kind of knitting. You think it'd be really quite, I need to concentrate and it's quite intense, but actually I can knit this and watch TV, I can knit this in the car. It's not actually too big to take out and about. So yeah, I'm enjoying it as kind of a mindless, quite easy colour work project. The only thing that I'm kind of apprehensive about maybe, and I didn't really think of this, I mean I could still go back but I don't think I will, is when I added the steek seams for the arms, I didn't cast off any of the body stitches, I just added the steek seams. So it means that when I cut to open the armholes, I won't be picking up any stitches from like underneath the arm. It will kind of just be an armhole opening that's very flat. Does that make any sense?
You've explained this to me before and yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, and I'm concerned that, I mean, my body isn't flat. I'm a 3D person.
Really?
so I feel like it's gonna look strange that there isn't like extra fabric under the arm. I feel like it's, I don't know. I can't picture it because I've never had that before, where there isn't kind of extra stitches casted on under the arm to account for the fact that your body isn't flat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see how that goes. I could go back and cast off some stitches and then add them back in maybe alongside the armhole steek stitches, but I don't know if that then affects the colour work repeat, if maybe that's why it hasn't been done in the first place. This is my first bottom up garment, so I really don't have the experience to draw off. I don't have any other patterns to kind of look at and see if I can kind of use those instructions. So I think I'm going to just have to blindly follow the pattern and hope for the best. So do let me know if you think it will look okay, or if you think I need to account for kind of extra underarm stitches. I'm intrigued. Yeah, so that's all I have to say on the Powdermill. I think I added actually one extra colour work repeat, because when I blocked my gauge swatch, it really shrunk in length, like my row gauge changed a lot. So I wanted to make the body part quite long to account for that shrinking. So I think I just added one extra of these purple and brown panels. One of these, added one of them.
Have you got your square neck?
Yeah.
Could you get it out for a sec?
Why?
I just want to see it next to this.
The size difference.
Look how big this is. This is
yeah,
huge,
it does
isn't
look
it?
quite big. I did think that
quite big.
I did think that the other day, is it too big? But I wanted it to have positive ease.
How can this be for the same person?
That is so true.
That is crazy different, isn't it? That looks like a dishcloth and this looks like a bed sheet.
Yeah, it does look big. Maybe it's too big.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe you all have to have it.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yes, please.
Oh, I didn't talk about the yarn. So the yarn is Rosa Pomar Pegulhal, which is, I think it's just a wool. Let me see.
Which you picked up in Rosa Pomar in Lisbon,
did.
which is a pretty cool thing.
I did. It is 100% Portuguese wool, and I'm really enjoying working with this Pegulhal yarn. It smells so sheepy, but like a really nice sheepy smell. It feels really rustic and grippy. Any times that I've had to kind of tink back, like Wilson's done earlier, it's actually been quite hard to tink back because it's been so grippy. So I don't have any concerns about the steeking. I think it will stick together so well and it won't unravel. And I think, yeah, it's the perfect yarn for colour work. I really like the way that it looks. No concerns with it. Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks amazing.
That's quite an easy one. Yeah, just still chugging away. Dropping all my stitches. Yeah, still chugging away. So hopefully I'll be doing some more tricky bits by the next episode and I'll have a bit more to say. Because the pattern is very sparse. So I think when it gets to doing areas that are a bit more complicated, I might struggle a little bit with the pattern.
Oh yeah, you've mentioned that before, haven't you?
Yeah, but we shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Have you got anything else to speak about in today's episode?
I don't have anything else to speak about. I do have a question, like an Ask the Audience.
Ask the audience,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
on a game show.
Yeah. So we're in the Peak District at the moment, and I've had a little Google search at the yarn shops around here, and there does seem to be quite a few yarn shops, but I was looking for some advice on any places that you think we can't leave the Peak District without going there. So someone was it the last episode, suggested Peak District yarns. So we're going to try and make that a trip. But any other places that you recommend, we would like to try and go there.
Even if it's not yarn or knitting related, even just any nice walks or nice places that you know of.
Yeah.
We don't really know the area, so we're very good at kind of everywhere else in England, aren't we, apart from the Peak District.
Yeah.
We haven't spent much time here, so let us know. We're going to be here for a bit longer after this video goes out, so let us know if you've got any recommendations.
Yeah, it's one of the few times where we're putting a video out kind of whilst we
When
can
we're
still
actually there.
whilst we can still kind of take on your recommendations. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd make the most of that.
Yeah, and hopefully the weather gets a bit cooler because it's quite hot.
I know, we like to moan.
Yeah.
It's either too hot or too cold. But it's actually far too hot.
Yeah, if we seem like we were a bit lethargic and tired in this episode, it's because we're just so hot.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like 9:30 p.m. now, and it's still late, like high 20s, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just so warm, and we're both absolutely frazzled today.
Yeah, and I will not let you put this photo in the video, but I was knitting earlier and I think I was so tired and so lethargic that I just fell asleep whilst I was knitting, and that's
Of
never
course it
happened
is.
before. That's
With
never.
the
I don't
knitting
nap,
needles.
but Wilson took a photo and I literally have my knitting on me and I'm just fast asleep.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're a bit low energy this episode, then that's why. But that's fine. Maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you enjoy the more relaxed feel.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have been rambling a little bit with some things. I think when I threw the cone of yarn in the sky, I think I'd run out of ideas at that point for this episode.
But that's just the way it comes.
That's just the way it comes. We're just going to keep going, keep uploading them, and try and stay consistent. Hopefully it'll be only a week until the next episode and not 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll try and make sure of that.
And hopefully I'm going to actually do some knitting this time as well. So thanks for sticking around and thanks for watching.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, then consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And we've spoke a few times in this video about our other channel, SophKnitsDaily, where we put together a few more kind of out and about videos.
Yeah,
Is that how you describe it?
I think so. We tend to do travelling and visiting kind of yarn and knitting adjacent places, and they're a little bit more produced and a little bit more focused than these kind of rambles that we do out in nature. So if you like that kind of thing, head over there and subscribe. And I'm SophKnitsDaily on Instagram, and you are SophKnitsDaily on Instagram. So follow us there if you want to see regular updates on our projects and things like that.
Semi-regular.
I think there's a spider on my head.
Is that it?
Oh yeah. And that's it.
You dealt with that really calmly.
Thank you.
That's not Wilson's off-camera dealing with spiders.
I'm pretty scared of
You
spiders.
normally scream and shout
and
for
bugs,
me.
yeah. Sophie's like bug patrol. Anyway, we also have a Patreon. So if you do enjoy these videos and you'd like
You're
to...
shouting Patreon.
Am I?
Yeah. We also
We also have a Patreon. So if you'd like to support these videos, that's the place to do it. We don't offer anything on Patreon. Sorry, we're going absolutely delirious this week because it's so hot. We don't offer any additional content on Patreon because we want everything to be free for everyone to access, regardless of how much money you have. So it's just a way to donate if you enjoy the videos and you'd like to support the ongoing production of SophKnitsDaily and We Knit Daily.
And we're so grateful to everyone who donates over on Patreon at the moment. It really just helps support the videos, and yeah, we're so grateful for your support.
We couldn't be doing it without you, really, could
exactly.
we? So thanks so much. And it also means that we don't have to take on brand partnerships and sponsorships and push products onto you guys every video and try and sell you things that you don't need, like robotic lawnmowers.
Is that going to be a frequent feature?
Yeah, maybe. What's the new one? Cat food we had recently.
Yeah.
We're not going to try and sell you any cat food.
I always tell my sister about the kind of beauty sponsorships that drop in our inbox, and she's like, no, I really want that. Why don't you do that one? I really want that. But yeah, sorry, Lauren.
We don't think you guys need to be hearing about that, so sorry, Lauren. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.